Hello everybody, I'm Huyên Dương. I'm a technical marketing engineer in Xiaomi BU, which is a BU who produces a Cisco ACI solution, and now we call it is a DC switching BU. They are the same in Xiaomi BU or DC switching BU. So to save time for today, I would like to walk you through the application of the service graph in ACI. So what is service graph? Firstly, we look at the problems when you try to do the service insertion in ACI fabric. For example, you have the ACI fabric over here, and on the left you have the web EPC, and on the right you have the app EPC. And the thing is, we need to plug in the L4 to L7 service device, which might be the firewall or the load balancers. It might be in a physical appliance or virtual appliance. So basically, whenever you plug into the service node, you need to do the VLAN, right? You need to configure the VLAN over here to make sure that the ACI fabric can talk to the service appliance. So, and then you have to do a configuration on the service appliance as well. So it is kind of really error prone, and you might be miss some step, and it is not flexible at all. So that's why we came up with the idea of service graph. So what is service graph? A service graph is the way we concatenate the function together from the source EPC to the destination EPC. And service graph is working on top of the contract. So when you build the contract and you attach the service graph, so automatically the traffic from the web EPC to the app EPC we want through the service node appliance. So for today's lab, we're gonna have some kind of web EPC and app EPC, and we're using service graph in managed mode to connect web to web and pass through the Cisco ACI virtual firewall. So there are multiple ways to do the service graph. What we doing today is using service graph with managed mode, in which the ACI API controller will not only produce the VLAN here, but also configure the rule on the Cisco ACI firewall. Okay, so let me go back to the lab and show you. Okay, basically there is some overview of the ACI fabric itself. Of course, before running service graph, you need to have the ACI fabric up and running, and to integrate with the virtual appliance, you need to have the VMM domain integration, and I already did it. Basically, what you have here, you have Win10 1 and Win10 2, and I will call it 1 and 2 for brief. Okay, so in 10.2, I got the IP address of he got IP address 4.12, and the gateway is 4.254, and the gateway will build the interface on the firewall. And just for this guy, which is app endpoint, he got 5.12 and 5.254, which is the gateway. For now, there is no firewall between, and there is no configuration on the firewall. We from here, of course, you cannot ping, right? Because there's no firewall in between. To make sure that I don't cheat you, firstly you see that the pinging is blocking, and this is the firewall we're gonna use. So if you do the show as list, you're gonna see there's no as list, and if you show IP address, there is only the management IP address, which is 4.40. So to make the service graph in managed mode working from the management interface of the virtual appliance, you must ping the API successfully. So let me try it to verify it working. 10.200, which is IP address of the API. Okay, good. So which means the API can connect to the ASA virtual appliance. So to do the service graph, the very first thing you need to do is to upload the virtual device package. So you need to go to L4 to L7 service and go to the package. From here, you just click on import a package and just browse. And you choose the package that certified by Cisco and the vendors. So for here, I did upload device packet already. So let me find it somewhere here. Okay. Yes, here you should choose ASA device packet here, right? So if you're using other vendors, you need to log into the vendor website to download the device package. So it is quite easy. So for example, if you want to try to let's say you can come to the link here. Let me find the link for you. So this is the link, or you can use Google to search. This is L4, L7 capability list solution overviews. The document is updated once we release new device package and the ACI version. So for the ACI device package, we're using the 1.3, and it is up to for the 3.1 8-bit release, and the ASA version we support is from 8.4 to 8.9. And just click here and you're gonna go to the download page, and from the download page in Cisco here, you're gonna choose the ASA device package. Let's say this one. I choose this one. This one is gonna be offer you full connectivity managed and managed service graph. Don't choose this one. This one is just for the simple task. This one is better. So even though the document said that we support for 3.1 release, but actually it is for 3.2. We support for backward compatible. So if you go here, and you're gonna see that ASA is the Epic is running on 3.2, but that's should be fine. After you upload the device packet, you're gonna see the device packet over here, which is the ASA 3.1. The cloud mode is used for integration with the function and the service device on the cloud. But for here, we just do on-premise, which means the ASA V running on the on-premise vCenter. Okay. So after you do the uploading the device package, you need to go back to the tenant. There's multiple ways to provisioning the ASA device, but for here we just go to the tenant. Of course, you can share the device between different tenants. If you put the device on common tenant, you can share it to other tenant. But here I have the tenant Pepper. Okay, so in tenant Pepper, you go to the service and you go to L4 L1 service. And you're gonna see the first thing you need to do is go to the device. And for here, I already added a device, but actually this is the way you do it. Just right click on the device and click create for the L7 device. First put the name here. Let's say I put the name, and you choose the file, the type is file. It depends on whether or not this is physical or virtual. This one is virtual, so we choose virtual. And remember, you need to choose a VM domain. So for here, I have the VM domain ends. It is a DVS with VMware integrations. So for now, please don't care about the AV and AVLNS. I choose this one. And of course, you need to choose a device package, okay? And then you need to choose a model, because this one is running on ASA virtual, so it switch to ASA V. And this is the single mode, and this is go to, which means the firewall will be the gateway for the EPG, or which exactly for the endpoint. So it is for the endpoint, and for the connectivity between API controller and the service appliance, we switch to our band, even though we support in-band. For this case, we use our band, and you need to insert the credential to log into the device. And okay, and now we need to type the management IP address of the ASIV here, and you should choose this is I choose HTTPS, and here is important, you need to find out the device. So the device is ACI46. Don't confuse. It's just a name, but you can type whatever you want. You can type 6 if you want, but here just I just got the number 6 ASIV here, and here you start to create the device interface and the cluster interface. So cluster interface, it is a logical representation of the device. So, and then you just click hit next and you go forward, because I already did it. So let me show you which I have. Okay. So for this one, I have the device is manage mode. The name is ASAV06, and it is the singer is go to, and it is credential, is admin, and it is password. And you remember that whatever you do after finish, you need to have the device state stable, which means that the connectivity from the APIC to the device is good. So for here, when I define the device, the name, the VM name, and the vCenter name, and IP address, and the management port, you should have the interface of 0.1, 0.2, 0.0, and 0.1, which is the interface of the outside and inside. So we model the interface is for the provider. We have the name is app. So the interface name app we be programmed to the SA later on when we apply the server graph, and the consumer is the web, which means from the web we connect to the app. So the interface consumer on the outside is the 0/0, and for the inside is 0/1. Okay, so if you click here and you go back to the firewall and you show run interface 0/0, you see there's no configuration at all, right? And it's same for 0.1. You don't see there's no configuration. Okay, so now you go back to the GUI API controller. After have the device, you need to create a service graph template, and before that it is optional. Optional is you can use you can define the function profile if you like. That is just optional for here. So what is a function profile? Function profile is a collection of parameters that the APIC will find and use it parameter to program the service appliance. So for here I just use a function profile named web app space. So inside the function profile you define some important parameter for program to the SA. So for here's for the important parameter I have is the interface. So for the interface, I have the interface internal and interface external. For here's the interface external. I need to type the name is web, and the IP address is for the 254, and I do the same for the interface internal, which is the interface app. Okay, so you can see the name here is app, and the IP address is 5.254. And then I define it as SLS. Therefore, here for the symbol, SLS is just permit all, permit enemy and the order of 10. I don't do that. I just use very basic setting up just so you how the function working. Okay, and of course, in the function profile, you have lots of built-in function profile. Actually, the web app space function profile is just copy from the built-in function profile, and I added the parameter over here. Okay, so now you need to define the service graph template. Okay, so here I already have it, but it's quite simple. Just define service graph template. So service graph template is actually just the generic functionality of how the device is working. So let's maybe test, and because you already have the device, just plug in here, and you need to choose it, which is routing mode, because we're running the firewall LRI3, and here you choose the function profile you already define, or you can choose the function profile that provided by the device package. Here you can choose a web app space and just click submit. Okay, so it's kind of easy to have a service graph template here. So because I already have a service graph template named web to app 2 space, so I don't use this one. I just delete this one. Okay, Okay, now, so you have defined the device, function profile, and service graph template. So now is the time to apply the service graph template. But before that, let me go back to the application profile to show you. So in Tenant Pepper, we have two application profile, but let's just choose the Space application profile, which is what I'm working on. So in this in the Space, if you click on topology, you can see somehow the relationship between the web and the app. So actually, between the web and the app, I have the contract already configured. The contract name is web to app, it is app 2, and it is a web tools. So hopefully you can see it here, which is web 2, okay, and it is now this is app 2, okay, but you cannot ping. Why? Because it is simple, because web 2 belong to okay, let me show you. In web 2, you belong to the bridge domain. Let's say you belong to bridge domain 4, okay, and in web app 2, you in app 2 you belong to let me show you, you belong to bridge domain 5, okay. So if you go to the networking and you go to the bridge domain, and inside bridge domain 5, you can see that the unicast routing is 4, right? Which means you connect to the two bridge domain, but the bridge domain does not provide the IP routing functionality, which means you cannot ping. So here you use the ASA firewall to do the routing, okay? So now let me go to the service template and do the okay, this my one is okay, and now I apply the service graph template. Just right click, apply service graph template. So first thing you need to do is to choose the source EPC, which is web 2, and you need to find the provider EPC, which is app 2, okay. So because I already have the service graph, so I just choose existing contract, so it is web to app 2, okay, and now you click next. Okay, this is really important. ACI will try to guess the bridge domain for you. This time is luckily he guessed correctly. Okay, the connector here connecting to which bridge domain is connected to bridge domain 4, and the connector in the provider side he connecting to bridge domain 5. Okay, so actually after we apply or we go render the service graph, ACI will automatically create the connectivity between the web and the consumer, and between the app and the provider, and he also providing the shadow EPC, which represents the connector for the consumer. Remember, everything connect to ACI need to belong to the EPC, right? You have the web server belong to web 2 EPC, app server belong to the app EPC. The connector of the firewall need to belong to some kind of EPC, right? But for here, we don't explicitly define this kind of EPC. ACI we do it for you, so we go shadow EPC, okay? Just follow information, and now you click next. Because for here you can change the parameter if you want, but because we already defined the parameter based on what? Based on the function profile, okay? So let me try to find it here. You can see this is what we define in the function profile. So function profile is kind of easy way for help you to reuse the service graph if you want. Now I can finish. Okay, so right after you click the submit for service graph, you firstly you need to take a look at deploy graph instance. If you don't see something here, which means something wrong happened, you need to troubleshoot. Also, hey, luckily it's working. So I click here, and the first thing you need to do is check fault. Okay, no fault, perfect. And the second is you need to check the deploy device. Deploy device only happen when you use many more service graph. If you use unmanaged mode, you don't see it here, but because you use the managed mode, you're gonna see here. No fault. Okay. And now you go to the device selection policy. Device selection policy is to define which service graph we use, which device we use. So here you see the contract name is here, right? Because remember, when you apply the service graph, you choose the contract, and this is a graph name. Graph name when you try to click and the graph terminate and you deploy, and this is a device which is defined on the service graph template. So actually ACI take the graph name, take the contract name, graph name, and the node, and do the configuration, stitching the networking and configuration the device for you. Okay, before verification, we need to look at the vCenter. You see, ACI automatically add two port group here. You can see the port group here, and he also config this guy. Just what did he do? ACI we connecting to vCenter and produce new port group and plug the VNIC the virtual machine, which is virtual appliance, to the correct port group. You can see here he auto created. So there is something like the salary BG. So you can see he pushed the interface of the firewall to the web and to the F. Okay, and now you go back to voila. You get the connectivity from the Win 1 to the Win 2, and of course let me try to go to the web. Perfect. Okay, which means the traffic from number 1 to number 2 pass through the firewall. Now here on the firewall, sorry, you just show connection. You can see this ICMP, this is TCP. When you use the HTTP service from the Win 1 to Win 2, so you can show asset list, which is name is asset in power using program from the Epic. You can run capture, name is web app interface web interface. Let me try the interface is okay, because I don't name it, so it is might be external here, and you can use real time. So you can see that they say it's getting the traffic. If you do the real time, it's going to increase some kind of CPU utilization. So I just do the demo, don't do it on the production network. So you can see here. So basically, you have connectivity from the web to the F. Okay, and can you try to bring back from here? Let me try to this 5.12. You should do it because the SLA is providing two-way connectivity. That's right. Okay, so now service graph provide you something like flexibility. Okay, as I said earlier, service graph is applied on top of the contract. So here is the contract you use, right? Actually, it is applied on the contract subject. If you go here, you go to subject. Okay, you can see that it is service graph applied here. So let's see, I remove a service graph and I click submit. What happened? You're gonna stop the ping. There's no way you can ping because you already removed the firewall, right? You get a request timeout, and now if you go back to the vCenter, you're gonna see later on. You're gonna see he remove the salary BG. It takes some time, but he gonna remove the salary BG eventually. Actually, you need to delete the device selection policy. That's okay. You see, but now I apply service graph again. Apply service graph, submit change, and now you can see the ping is working. It wanna work, but it takes a little time to update. Bear with me. You need to wait. But essentially it is the concept of how the service graph is applied between the web and IPv6. You can do the service graph for different EPG, maybe from the web BGP to the L3 out, to the EPC running outside of the ACI fabric. Okay, let me go back here. You have the topology here. You're gonna see this because the screen is a little bit small, but here you can see whenever you apply the service graph, you're gonna see the icon of L4 L1 service running here. So you can right click here and you choose to remove contract relationship, which is the same as I do for delete the service graph from the subject of the contract. Let me go back here. Okay, voila, you get a connectivity back again, and it is working. From here you can connect to the web server running on the app server, which is Windows 2. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope it is a little bit interesting, and you get some idea of how service graph in managed mode is working. And thanks for viewing. So it's a great chance to have you viewing. So have a great day. Bye bye.